Hi everyone and welcome to Morning Coffee Break. Hope everybody's alright this morning. I've got to go for my blood work because my infusion is tomorrow. It's always a fun time. So I don't know. I got conflicting information, that when I called insurance about it the other day, they said that I was only approved to keep getting the Entyvio till November. So then we called back to my GI doctor, and the nurse called me back, and she said, "No, that's wrong. It's good for a year." So I don't know what's going on with it. I said, "So I don't have to worry about it, right?" She said, "No." She said, "It's..." So I don't know. One place tells me one thing and one tells me another. All I know, if it gets messed up, I'll end up having to pay a fortune. So all I can do is ask, if they, I wish they could tell me. I need them to send me something else in the mail, saying that. You'd think they would. They all want to do this online, email stuff instead of sending you something in the mail anymore, and you don't get half your information that way. So anyway, I get so many emails, I can't go through all of them. It's just too many. Okay, currently it's 67 degrees. Today's Thursday, August 18th. High today's 81. I can live with that. 30% chance of rain. 90% humidity right now. Winds are at 3 miles per hour and air quality is 60. That's moderate. But yeah, I'm just getting kind of aggravated. I think it seems like they're working towards trying to deny it. I don't know, because I call them one time, they said one thing, then I got a letter from them, and it said something about weekly injections. And as far as I know, Entyvio doesn't have anything they do like that. It's all infusion because it's a biologic. Not that other biologics aren't available. I was on one before this called Cimzia, and I was on that for about 4 years, and it never did a thing for me. Never did one thing to make me any better. I don't know why they kept it on me, kept me on it for so long before switching to the Entyvio. But so there's there are shots, but I've never heard of Entyvio having shots. So that's why I called him. I said, "This says weekly injections," and I said, "I never do that. I have infusions." So I don't know. Like I said, there's all kinds of different information. They're telling me and sending me, and I don't exactly know which one's right. So I hope my GI doctor's nurse is right. Okay, today there will be an Ask My Tablet. I finally did one. So everybody check it out, especially if you've never watched it before. I think you'll like it. It's different, it's fun, it's interesting, it's informative, so you can learn a few things too, even, and still have fun. Okay, last night, what's for dinner? We had, I made what I called pasta bake. I was going to look up a recipe, and I said, you know what? I don't need a recipe to make something. I do certain things, if it's something I've never heard of and has different ingredients I don't know. So I just said, well, I'll just make this. And so what I did was I fixed I made some meat sauce with some ground chuck, and got some peppers from the garden and some onion. Joy cut them up, and I sauteed them with the ground beef. And so then I made sauce, I had ragu, chunky something. What's that beeping? And So I put that and in with the meat and veggies, and then added some seasonings and simmered that for a while. And then I cooked some pasta, and then I put the pasta, I used rotini, I put it in with the mixture, the sauce mixture. Stirred it around good. Then I put a layer in a casserole dish. I used a 9x9. I put a layer down in the bottom, and then I put a layer of cheese. I put mozzarella on the first layer, then on top, and I put the rest of it. Then on top, I put some Italian blend cheese and a little more mozzarella. Put foil over, and took about an hour. And had some garlic bread and a piece of tomato from the garden and a salad with cucumbers from the garden. So there was plenty of things from the garden in this meal too. And it was delicious, and I did a short on it, so y'all check it out, please, for me. And, it's funny how they do shorts. I mean, you never know if anyone that I'll do that I'm saying, you know what, this is going to do really good. This will be a really good, get a lot of views. And it'll get like 50 views or something. And then you'll do one, and you'll say, well, this one should do good or okay. And thinking that it would probably get the 100 or whatever, 100 views or something. And within 37 minutes, it had 2,500, 2.5K. And I noticed this morning, I think it's at 3.3K or something like that. But like I said, you just never know. You could do one of a fly on the garage floor, and it get thousands, Then you could do one of something that you think would do fantastic, some kind of meal you made, or it looks just really, really good. And you're like, I know this one's going to do good. And that's the one that'll get like 50 or something. But you just never know. It's how if they send it out into the like mainstream or whatever, to where more people can actually decide whether they want to see it or not, that's when it does so good, So then it seems like they can shut it off as fast as they turn it on, because all of a sudden it'll just stop getting views. I mean, you'll get some that'll trickle in, but not like thousands in minutes, So anyway, I was happy with that. So y'all check out that short. Okay. So what are we having for dinner tonight? I'm going to fix some, probably I'm going to bread some pork chops. I'm not 100% sure how I'll do that. I'll probably bread them. And then I'm going to get these roasted. I'm going to roast these Petite Red Potatoes. One's about to fall out. These came from Kroger. We're going to roast those, cut them in half. And I'm going to do them like I did when I roast stuff. I'll get a bag, a storage bag, and cut the potatoes in half and put them in there. And then I'll put Joy will cut up some onions, and I think there was one more thing we wanted to put in there, some zucchini from the garden. And then I'll put the oil in there. I use avocado oil and seasonings, shake it all up. I'll bread the pork chops and put them in there. I use a 13x9 on this one, and then put all the vegetables around it and bake it. So I don't think, and I'll put onions, red potatoes, zucchini, and onions with the pork chops. And then we'll probably have some cucumber. Well, we still got them. I mean, we're getting them almost every day, cucumbers, and I give some away, but we try to eat some every day too. Okay. I got today's tidbits. Drink a coffee. Okay, doctors warn of fatal thunder fever after storms. I never heard of this before. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Hoping it'll go away. Nope. Phew. Man, I've been sneezing a lot. Okay, it says, doctors warn that high pollen levels during thunderstorms could increase the risk of fatal allergic reactions among people with hay fever and asthma. The infection is called thunder fever. Pollen, often too large to enter human airways, is broken into tiny particles by moisture during storms. This allows them to enter the lungs and cause reactions. I never knew that. Never knew that. Okay, man fights gator looking for water in drought-stricken area. Mike Trin, a former mixed martial arts fighter, wrestled and bound an alligator that was probably looking for water in Missouri City, Texas, Tuesday. Trin then drove the alligator to a nearby pond and released it. Wildlife officials believe the alligator was in search of water as extreme drought conditions have dried up ditches and ponds. That's really taking a risk. I mean, could you imagine seeing that? This guy just run out there and grab a gator but then he took it somewhere and let it loose in a pond. So, I mean, he meant well, but that could have ended, bad. Okay, northern lights to shine over Washington, Oregon skies Thursday. NOAA has issued a watch for the possible visibility of northern lights or aurora borealis in western Washington from Wednesday night through Thursday night. The G3 geomagnetic storm may produce a display as far south as the border between Washington and Oregon. 2 solar storms in July caused the northern lights to shine above Puget Sound. And watch K Cygni meteor shower reach its peak tonight. I never see them. It's always clouded whenever something like this happens. The K Cygni meteor shower will produce a few bright shooting stars during its peak on Thursday, August 18. Up to 3 meteors per hour will be visible all night near the celestial North Pole in the constellation Draco. Luckily, the moon is in its quarter phase, so moonlight will be less of an issue when looking for meteors. Okay, let's see if we can find today's, nice news. Okay. Here we go. Okay. American Airlines orders supersonic planes to speed up travel. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Air travel is set to speed up over the next decade. This week, American Airlines became the 3rd major airline to order planes from Boom Supersonic, which makes commercial aircraft that promise to fly at twice the speed of the fastest ones today. Japan Airlines and United Airlines have also ordered from Boom in recent years, indicating a larger movement in the aviation industry to shift toward supersonic speed. The company says its signature plane, called the Overture, will travel from Los Angeles to Honolulu in just 3 hours. Oh my gosh. Typically a nearly 6-hour journey, and Miami to London in less than 5. There's also an environmental element to the aircraft. Boom uses sustainable, carbon-neutral jet fuel, an important development given that air travel is a major contributor to climate change. American has agreed to purchase 20 Overtures, which are set to roll out in 2025 and carry the first passengers by 2029. So they get them in 2025, and it's going to take them 4 years before people can be on them? That doesn't make sense unless it takes 4 years to learn how to fly one. So I don't know. Be anytime soon, I don't guess. Cheaper hearing aids will soon be available over the counter. And you know what? Hearing aids are super expensive. Super expensive. There's good news for the hard of hearing. I've got ringing in my ears 24/7, all the time. It's just, and it gets louder and then lower, but I always hear it all the time. Sometimes it's really loud. Like after mowing, I need to wear earplugs or something while we mow. But anyway, it does it all the time. There's good news for the hard of hearing. The Food and Drug Administration has just approved a measure that will allow some hearing aids to be sold over the counter. Officials hope that the move will make the products cheaper, more widely available, and potentially even higher quality. Hearing aids for people over the age of 18 with mid to moderate hearing loss could be available on pharmacy shelves as early as October, according to FDA Commissioner Dr. Robert Califf. It's estimated that the new rule will save people around $2,800 per pair. See? And it's super expensive. They shouldn't be that much. Come on. A significant improvement for the nearly 30 million adults in the U.S. who could benefit from them. Today's action will not only help adults who have perceived mild to moderate hearing loss gain access to more affordable and innovative production options, but we expect that it will unleash the power of American industry to improve the technology in a way that it will impact the enormous burden of disability from hearing loss affecting the world, Califf said in a news briefing on Tuesday. And marine geologist takes historic dive to map the deepest spot on Earth. Marianas Trench, we've talked about that before, located in the western Pacific, is the deepest oceanic trench on the planet and the lowest spot within it. The Challenger Deep is a small valley 35,876 feet underwater. That's where marine geologist Dawn Wright has set her sights on exploring. These are places that are extremely hostile, that are not where humans are made to inhabit, Wright recently told Popular Science, but we now have the technology to explore these spaces. She became the first black woman to descend to Challenger Deep in July, gathering information on the marine ecosystem that will contribute to the United Nations Seabed 2030 project. The goal is to create a map of the entire ocean floor, by the end of the decade, and Wright is working to produce a small slice of it. It's like a postage stamp or a piece of a puzzle, she said. The puzzle is not complete until all of the pieces are found and put into place. She hopes her research will inspire others to explore the deep blue even further. They can look to me as someone who has paved the way for them. Okay. That looks like it's it. What's this? I haven't seen this before. I don't know. It's a note. It says post of the day. It's just a note. I don't know. I haven't seen that on here before. It says, I hope this note is found by one of my children who is curious about beekeeping. Beekeeping is actually pretty easy, and you can learn everything you need to know online. Bees make more products than just honey, and as a hobby, it can be a source of extra income. So don't be afraid. Have courage. Good luck. Love, Dad. Okay. Here's a quote of the day. Living in a state of gratitude is the gateway to grace. That's Arianna Huffington. That's about it. They've got some other news that you can go to if you want to. You can click on it. But anyway, that's it for nice news in today's Tidbits. And that's going to be it for morning coffee break, everybody. I got to get me one more drink of coffee. Anyway, I sure hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you'll press that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and share this out. And hit that so you get all my videos as soon as they come out. All right, everybody. Definitely check out Ask My Tablet later on. It's a good show. I've been doing it for about, probably about 4 years now. So check it out, and I think you'll like it. It's something different, and it's fun. So everybody have a great day, and God bless.